right, so you've written your narratives for the week, and now it is time for us to check them and make sure we've got all the parts to a good narrative. And then to do what the last page says is check our spelling and our punctuation. So I have my story. Remember I told you I was going to write about the day I was outside with doing my flowers and weeding, and my cat had a snake. So here's my story. And then we're going to together do some editing for my story. So let's see how Mrs. Hofstede did. Here we go. I was outside pulling weeds and planting flowers. All of a sudden, I saw my cat playing with something. It was a snake. Ugh. I ran in the house and yelled, "The cat has a snake!" So my husband went outside to check. Luckily, it was just a bull snake. He took it from the cat and put it back in the sagebrush. Okay, so there's my story. And you could probably tell that Mrs. Hofstede does not like snakes. Yeah. But now we need to go through and I need your help to get this fixed. So first thing is it says my lead. I tried to make a beginning to my story. And I remember saying we need to grab the reader's attention, and I'm not sure about just starting with I. When we were in school and we were able to share our stories together, I remember my kids saying, Mrs. Hofstede, we probably shouldn't just start with I. You need to tell us where you're at and what was going on. And so this was on Saturday. Maybe I should add that in there and say making a mistake again. I would say on Saturday. I'm just going to put a little arrow to show I want to put that being on Saturday. I was outside pulling weeds and planting flowers. Now it tells you a little bit more about when this story took place. So I think that does sound better. So you can check your lead and see, did you put a good beginning? Did you tell us where you were at or when it happened? You could push pause for a minute and check yours. Okay, well now we're going to move on. We're going to see, we have to use those transitions and make sure it's organized. So let's see if we did that, because it says to use transitions and organize. And then we're going to check for the closure. And then we'll go back. I know, I see some mistakes too. Did you see some mistakes Mrs. Hofstede made? We're going to go back and do those in a minute. Right now, we're just making sure we have all the pieces to the story. So let's read and make sure we have all the pieces. All of a sudden, I think that's a pretty good transition. It's all of a sudden I was shocked. All of a sudden I was just pulling my weeds and planting my flowers. And when I turned around, I was like, oh, all of a sudden, I saw my cat playing with something. It was a snake. I think that tells you what's going on. Oh, and look at my pictures. There's my snake. You know what Mrs. Hofstede did, though? I did yell. So I'm going to draw a little speech bubble here. I'm going to say, ah! A snake. Because I come in, ooh, a snake. Oh, a snake. That's exactly what I did. I ran in the house and yelled, "The cat has a snake." You know what? I didn't just say it. I yelled it. The cat has a snake. Do you remember what we did last week to make it show that we were yelling and we wanted the people reading our story to say it louder? You're right. We made it bold, so I think I should make it bold. I yelled. I'm going to make it really bold. The cat has a snake. I should probably get a black marker and even go over that even bolder, so it stands out. There we go. So I'm going to yell that. The cat has a snake. Yeah. Oh, you're right. I should probably put a speech bubble down here, yelling that. I'll say the cat has a snake. Ugh. this is my husband. He didn't get as excited as I did. Ooh, I don't like snakes. So my husband went outside to check. Luckily, it was just a bull snake. He took it from the cat and put it back in the sagebrush. I think my ending's there. I kind of brought it to an end. I told you what happened at the end. Took that snake away from the cat and just put it back in the sagebrush so it wasn't in our yard anymore. Oh, thank goodness. Right? Okay, so I think I have all the parts. I've got my lead. I've got my middle, at least 2 pages, and with transitions. And my transitions like so or all of a sudden. And I added some elaboration. I added those speech bubbles. I added some bold words. So I think I've got the parts that they talked about. Now it says I need to go back and check my punctuation and my spelling. So let's start again. So see, when you edit, you've got to read your story over a couple times. Yeah, because we want to get this so that when a reader reads it, there's just, they're excited. So I'm going to say, on Saturday, I was outside pulling weeds and planting flowers. That sounds pretty good now that I added on Saturday. Uh-oh. Capital here, new sentence. All of a sudden, oh, and you're right, capital I saw my cat playing with something. Oh, I put a period. What I forgot to do. I forgot to put a capital. I better fix that. I'm just going to write right over it. When you edit, you can just write right over it and fix it. It was a snake. How do you think I said it was a snake? You're right. Loud exclamation. It was a snake. Ah, a snake. I ran in the house and yelled. And I'm going to put talking marks because Mrs. Hofstad yelled it. I yelled, "The cat has a snake!" Exclamation point, and then talking marks around it. So I'm going to put those because they're the words that came out of my mouth. It's what I said. The cat has a snake. And I made it bold. So my husband went outside to check. Luckily, it was just a bull snake. Oh, I was worried it was going to be a rattlesnake. He took it from the cat and put it back in the sagebrush. And you know what? I'm going to add one more thing of me saying thanks. Because I was happy my husband came and helped me, took that snake away. So, I'd like you to go through and read your story. Make sure you've got all the parts you need, the lead, the transitions, and the ending. And then check your punctuation. Make sure you've got those complete sentences, and then definitely share that story with someone in your house, or send it to your teacher, or maybe during your class meetings you could read one to your teacher. They would love to hear these great narratives that you're writing. All right, thanks.